Right, to the end. We've made it to the end of the Dudley number 2 canal. Turn it all Horn Basin. Bit tight, but it was alright. Managed to do it. I think we just gave that boat a little bit of a love tap with the rear fender, but that's not going to do any damage whatsoever. It's just rubber. But that tunnel, Gossley Hill, my gosh, that was tight. Roger didn't tell me it was that low. God, it was almost like Froggle. But yeah, made it through alright. We're back through it now. Dad was moaning, oh, coming all this way, 3 miles back. What's the point? Well, we did get a silver propeller. We got another silver propeller because there's a silver propeller there at Horn Basin. I couldn't get the name of the boat, but I got Dad in the photo and the tiller and all that, and the bridge. So I think that'll suffice. So, anyway, we'll see you back at Bumhole. Bumblehole. Yeah, because I'm not going to record all of this again. So this is, of course, the canal network. Everything in red is what we've cruised. Now we're here, down, on the Dudley number 2 canal. So today we'll be coming off the Dudley number 2 canal through the very long and wide Netherton tunnel, which will take us over the old main line and onto the new main line. We'll then follow the straight and wide down to Spoon Lane Locks, which will take us up to the engine arm where there is a safe mooring at the end.
I had to brace, otherwise I would have fell off.
Get here. Oh, no.
These kids tried to ask us for a ride on the boat. We politely declined. Well, this is perhaps the most modern canal tunnel to ever really exist, and it was the last one to be built in Canal Mania, being finished on the 20th of August 1858. It was built because the Dudley tunnel was becoming a bit of a bottleneck, which was very narrow of course, and we couldn't even take that because of that being the lowest tunnel on the network. That tunnel sometimes had waiting times of 8 hours or sometimes even several days. But with a width of 27 feet, it allowed narrowboats to come both ways and had a towpath each side for a horse pulling a boat one way and pulling a boat the other way.
No wonder no one's in here. Towpath flooded.
What's funny though is you think this tunnel would be lit, wouldn't you, being in the metropolis of Birmingham. The funny thing is though, it originally was. It was gaslit and then it was lit by electricity, but now it isn't. It's really that expensive to light this tunnel. It is the 8th longest tunnel on the network at 2,768 metres.
As if you saw another narrowboat going over that one.
Believe it or not, but that is an aqueduct. 20 feet above is the old Birmingham main line. Now the new main line is 20 feet below, which is what we're on.
Through Netherton Tunnel, and we're not going the way I said we were going to go. We've gone the opposite direction. So yeah, the plan was probably tomorrow at Bumblehole tonight. It's 5 o'clock now. I said if we get to engine arm, then we can actually get to Catherine Dee Barnes tomorrow. We can push it all the way to Catherine Dee Barnes tomorrow. So instead of doing 3 days, we can do it in 2 days. So that's what we're going to do. It means we're going to miss out going down to Tipton Green and the Black Country Museum, and doing the old Birmingham, or the Wolverhampton level that's called actually. We're on the yeah, because we can cross over to get over to Wolverhampton one day. We can do that then. But for now, we're going to be doing the Birmingham level and the main line, the new main line. So it's super straight, super wide, and there's towpath each side. And we came out of that junction, and there's actually a boat behind us heading this way. That was good timing.
In January 1776, a few businessmen from Birmingham held a meeting to consider the possibilities of a canal being built from Birmingham to Wolverhampton to join the Staffs and Worcester. They of course commissioned James Brindley, who came back with a largely meandering route. And on the 21st of September 1772, the canal was joined to the Staffs and Worcester Canal at Addersley. But over the next 30 years, as more canal branches were built or connected, it became necessary to review the long-term, winding, narrow old main line with a single towpath, which boats passing in opposite directions had to negotiate their horses and ropes. So then none other than bad boy Thomas Talfourd was brought in 1824. This is what Thomas Talfourd famously had to say about Brindley's Canal. Little more than a crooked ditch with scarcely the appearance of a towing path, the horses frequently sliding and staggering in the water, the hauling lines sweeping the gravel into the canal, and the entanglement at the meeting of the boats being incessant. Whilst at the locks at each end of the short summit at Smethwick, crowds of boatmen were always quarrying or offering premiums for preference of passage. The mine owners, injured by the delay, were loud in their just complaints. That up there takes you to Walsall, which is somewhere I never want to go on the boat. It is rough as assholes up there, like I have heard some true horror stories. And by 1827, the new main line passed straight through and linked to the loops of the old main line. And the reason these old loops remained from the old main line was to serve the factories and wharfs down them. By 1838, the new main line was completed, reducing the distance by about 7 miles from 22 to 15. This canal is literally as about modern as a canal can get.
Nope, I don't go to the van. It's like that tomorrow. Oh, God's sake, stop going.
You would not stop worrying about the van, and that's partly why I reduced the length of the cruises through Birmingham. I wanted to see a lot more, but Dad just kept worrying about the bloody van.
No, it's on our side, but I can't get off anyway, Dad. Someone's moored on the lock landing.
Oh, great.
I know. That's selfish.
We now got to go up 3 locks, up 20 more feet to get to the engine arm and the old main line, which is 6 locks out of our way because we've got to come down on 3 locks to get back on the new main line tomorrow. But we want to get onto the engine arm because, you know, it's a little thing to see, and there is some very secure moorings down there.
I just want to get through.
And that is James Brindley's old main line. I imagine this used to look a lot different when it was originally built. Fields and trees and just a few odd places here and there. But now look at it, the monstrous M5 motorway is just completely built over the top of it. You can't see it, of course, but we're actually running alongside the new main line, which is 20 feet below us to the right hand side of the boat. This tiny little entrance here is the entrance to the engine arm, which actually goes over the new main line on an aqueduct. It was originally part of a feeder tunnel for a pumping engine, but the pumping engine was moved to a new site, which allowed part of the feeder to be opened up and made navigable, so that coal supplies for the engine could be delivered by barge. The arm was extended by Thomas Telford in 1825 to carry water from the Eggbaston Reservoir to the old main line, and because he had built the new main line, a new aqueduct was needed here.
Fucking babies. Fucking loads of boats down here. Through Birmingham.
God, so much urban decay.
As you can see, this gate here stops any members of the public coming in.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
And this is the end of the engine arm. Now there is a facilities point here with pumper, water, house and rubbish, all that lot. But there is only one spot for mooring here, which is why I was a bit apprehensive coming down here, because I wasn't sure if we could get a spot. Thankfully we did. Now, as you can tell, this is not the same day. This is the next day, but we were too tired to make any sort of outro. But now we've got to try and turn around, which is going to be easier said than done.
Got enough room to do the pivot manoeuvre, because that it's just shallow back there. Trying to do it the bow way now, because the bow is higher off the ground. But look at all this. CRT won't move it because they want this landowner to remove it. That old thing again. There we go. Right, so it's a new day and it's a much nicer day today. The sun's out. It's a bit windy as well, not as windy. Just struggled to turn around there. Couldn't do it the normal way around. We had to go backwards into the winding arm. Just because it was so shallow and overgrown at the back, the rudder was getting stuck. So,
Yeah, the rudder was getting stuck, but they've asked for it to be cleared out. CRT can't because the bank belongs to somebody else.
again.
I said, if I lived here, mate, I'd cut it back myself, but I don't.
Yeah, so anyway, guy came out and helped us out. Yeah, lovely night there. No trouble whatsoever, it's all locked up. So yeah, safe. And it was alright, yeah. But yeah, I pushed the boat around with the barge pole and that did the job, because the bow is higher than the engine because there's a lot more weight on the engine end of the boat, and it slopes up like that. Anyway, it's about 9 o'clock. Got a long day ahead of us today. 28 locks to do by myself, which is going to be fun.
Josh has got 6 locks to do, plus 20.
Yeah, 22 plus 22.
Bloody hell, Josh. Roger!
Yeah, I got my first 3 locks in a minute to get back down on the new main line, and then we got Farmers Lane Bridge locks again, 13 there. We've done those before, and then we'll be going up Ashton flight of 7.
That the Burnham tree's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we've got Camp Hill, which is 5, and then there's a facilities point at the top of Camp Hill, get some water, and then about 7 miles to Catherine Dee Barnes. Anyway, let's get on with it then, shall we?